The insult hit her before the kick did, sharp and ugly, slicing through the bright ocean air of Santa Monica Pier on a clear daytime afternoon. The boardwalk was alive with laughter, music, and the smell of salt and fried dough when cruelty cut across it like a sudden storm. Maribel Reyes felt the shove in her back, felt her crutches slip on the sun-warmed wooden planks, felt the world tilt as balance betrayed her. The word cripple echoed in her mind long after it left their mouths, louder than the gulls, louder than the crashing waves, louder than her own breath as she struggled not to fall. If you believe stories of kindness and second chances deserve to be heard, take a moment right now to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel Threads of Kindness, because the world needs more light than darkness. Maribel was 19, slight and soft. Spoken, with one leg weakened by a childhood accident that never fully healed. She had come to the pier alone, determined to enjoy a simple afternoon after a week of medical appointments and quiet disappointments. Her mother worked double shifts, her friends were busy, and Maribel was tired of letting fear keep her indoors. The pier had always made her feel close to something bigger than pain, the endless blue stretching toward the horizon, the sunlight dancing on water like a promise that life kept moving forward even when she struggled to. She walked carefully, each step a small victory, her face lifted toward the warmth of the sun. The boys saw her effort and mistook it for weakness. They were loud, restless, fueled by laughter that fed on humiliation. One kicked a crutch aside, another laughed when Maribel stumbled, her palms scraping the boards as she caught herself before falling completely. Around them, people slowed, stared, hesitated. Some looked away. Some froze. The music from a nearby street performer faltered, the joy of the pier dimming as if the sunlight itself had flinched. Maribel's heart pounded, not just with fear, but with a familiar shame she hated herself for feeling. She told herself to stand, to keep moving, to not let them see the tears burning behind her eyes. Her arms trembled as she reached for her crutch, her strength stretched thin by more than muscle. It was the weight of years spent being overlooked, pitted, or mocked, the exhaustion of always having to prove she deserved space in the world. That was when the rumble began, low at first, almost mistaken for distant thunder rolling in from the sea. It grew louder, steadier, until heads turned toward the entrance of the pier. Motorcycles rolled in, one after another, chrome flashing in the sun, engines humming with controlled power. They came in dozens, then more, riders of every age, leather vests marked with patches that spoke of miles traveled and bonds forged on open roads. The laughter stopped. The bullies stepped back, confusion flickering across their faces as the space around Maribel filled, not with threat, but with presence. The bikers did not shout or rush. They parked their bikes in a wide circle, forming a quiet wall between Maribel and those who had hurt her. At the center stood a woman named Talia Monroe, her hair silvered by years and sunlight, her posture calm and unyielding. She knelt without hesitation, retrieving the fallen crutch and offering it back with steady hands. Around her, other bikers stood watch, their eyes firm, their silence louder than any confrontation. The message was unmistakable. Harm would go no further. Maribel felt something shift inside her as she accepted the crutch and rose again. The shaking eased, replaced by a warmth that had nothing to do with the sun. Strangers were standing for her when she had almost convinced herself she was invisible. A small crowd gathered, not to gawk, but to witness. Phones lowered. Faces softened. The bullies retreated, swallowed by the flow of tourists, their power dissolved by accountability they had not expected. The bikers stayed a while, creating a safe passage as Maribel walked, slow but upright, toward the end of the pier where the ocean opened wide. Some nodded to her, others smiled gently, a few simply stood, guardians of a moment that would linger long after the engines cooled. The pier seemed brighter again, music resuming, laughter returning, but something had changed. Kindness had left its mark. As the bikers eventually rode away, the sound of their engines fading into the rhythm of the waves, Maribel stood at the railing, watching sunlight scatter across the water. Her body still ached, but her spirit felt lighter than it had in years. She was not weak. She was not alone. She was part of a world where compassion could rise up suddenly, fiercely, and without asking for anything in return. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that goodness still exists in unexpected places, please take a moment now to like, comment, share, and subscribe, because every act of engagement helps spread stories that matter. Before this story ends, we have a special request for you to comment below and share what kindness means to you or a moment when someone stood up for you when you needed it most. Maribel left the pier that day moving slowly, but standing taller than ever, carrying with her the memory of a sea of bikers, a circle of protection, and the unshakable truth that even in a crowded world, compassion can find